So, if you guys are here, I'm gonna make a small guess that you guys are fans of the DC Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm gonna go into a couple of minutes, and then we'll have our guests come out. Um, as was just mentioned, I'm Brandon Choi, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. I'll be your moderator for this panel, and if you've been to any of the panels that I've done, I try to keep things simple. I'm gonna go through a couple of questions just to get the ball rolling, and then I'm gonna punt it out to you guys. It looks like we pretty much have a full house, so I wanna give everyone an opportunity to ask their questions. So if we can limit it to one question per person, I'll let you guys know to hit to the mic here, so that way you guys can ask your questions, I should say. Is that fair? Okay, all right, cool. So with that, I want to get into our guests here. They are in an interesting category in that they are part of, as I mentioned, two cinematic universes, and they're also in a rarefied space of not only being in two universes, but playing multiple characters in those said universes, and in the even more rarefied space, a lot of those characters are still active. So that's the crazy thing too. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Sean Gunn.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I play multiple characters in both universes.
Multiple,
I'm
sir.
like the utility infielder of the superhero.
But we appreciate it. We wouldn't be here otherwise, right? So just to get the ball rolling, take me back to the inception of this rebooted DC universe, and I guess a good place to start would perhaps be around the time of the Suicide Squad. How early were you a part of those conversations, or privy to those conversations, I should say, that there was going to be a reboot of this universe?
Well, I mean, my brother James keeps me posted on what's going on for the most part, but also we have our careers are separate, and so we do. I have my acting career. He has his career as a director and Hollywood big shot. And so, yeah, no, I mean, Suicide Squad happened right when he had gotten fired from Disney, in between the second and third Guardians movies, and and I know that even though a Suicide Squad movie had been made recently, he really wanted to do that movie, and so I had a blast doing it. They were really happy with it. COVID sort of torpedoed some of the box office of that movie, I think, a little bit. It was really, excuse me. It was a little tricky, but everyone was happy with the movie, and I think it really came out nicely. So then we went back and made Guardians 3, and I think at some point during that process, they started to court my brother and his producing partner, Peter Safran, to maybe come on board DC and take on a more active role and actually take over the studio. So but all these things, I learn about them before the public does, but not like long before. Usually, sometimes it's maybe a month or something like that.
Is that like a easy thing or a hard thing where like you're kind of in that circle of knowing what's happening, or are you kind of like jaded to it?
Well, I'm a brother first, actually. So when we're and James and I are close and we're good friends. So when he's talking about where his career is going, first and foremost, I'm happy for him and what he's doing. And then if there's some part in it that I can play, we will talk about that, and I know we'll get to it eventually.
Gotcha. Well, great segue. Getting into our characters, whether we're talking about G.I. Robot, Weasel, or even, of course, Maxwell Lord.
Yeah.
Those characters are so drastically different. So, can you talk a bit about what the initial steps are for you in bringing those characters, to life? Because for some of them, I would imagine for like Weasel or G.I. Robot, does the look of the character inform those characters, or is it mostly on what's on the page?
to some degree. I mean, Weasel and GI Robot are both character. Like I had played Weasel, so I had some handle on what I was going to do as that character. I I knew that when I was asked to come back to Creature Commandos and play Weasel, there was a little part of me that was like, okay, like I was happy to do it, but I also, there's only so much grunting and squawking and but I was really when I read Creature Commandos and I read it all at once, I was really blown away. First of all, I was like, I love that project so much. I think it might be the best thing my brother's written, and so the idea of playing Weasel with a little bit more of a of an emotional arc was really interesting creatively. But I also knew that James said, "Look, you're not just going to be doing the squawking. There's another character that I think you'll also be right for." And that was GI, who I've just like fallen in love with, and I'm so proud to play that character. He is the hero that we need in today's day and age. I know so many people were like, "Why didn't he show up at the end of Peacemaker and clean house?" And maybe next time we'll see that. But yeah, so I knew I was going to be doing those two voices, but they're different than the live action stuff. And then Maxwell Lord was something that came about. I think James told me. I mean, he can verify if this is correct, but I think he had the idea for me to play Maxwell Lord when he saw me perform in this Amazon show called The Terminalist that I did with Chris Pratt, and I played this character who's kind of smarmy and ends up getting tortured to death. Which, if you want to see me get tortured to death, there you go. But there's some sort of like cosmic overlap in the essence of those characters. And I think it clicked with James, and he talked to me about playing Maxwell Lord, and I just love the idea of playing that character. I've had so much fun doing it, just in the 2 seconds you see me in Superman, and then the scene in Peacemaker. And we'll see more of Maxwell Lord going forward. Very excited to share that character with everyone. It's really it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I'm sure. And I was going to say, considering how dense of a history that character has, I mean, I'm sure it provides an interesting challenge in terms of the fact that he has his pockets are so deep that a lot of times when you have a character like that, it provides an interesting challenge in terms of what they respond to, what their objectives are, because it's going to be far different than the normal human beings. So can you share that of having that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just informs how you look at the world. People who are billionaires, particularly the Maxwell Lord type of billionaire, who is like ultra billionaire, they tend to have a different interface with everything that they come in contact with. And so they treat everybody a little bit differently. Their input is a lot different. And so just looking at the world like that has been fun and cool. But, I think we don't always know what the motives of some of these people are, how altruistic it is. Obviously, Maxwell is funding the Justice Gang for now. But, how much of that is ego and how does that play going forward is something that will be fun to explore and to share with people.
Awesome. I have one last question, then I'll open it out to you guys. So if you guys want to start lining up at the mic there, feel free, and then we'll get started. With all of the characters that you have played thus far, obviously, I'm sure, as we just mentioned, you're privy to some information, but just as a wish list, what are some characters that you wish that you could interact with as Lord, as Robot, as Weasel?
Oh, to interact with, yeah. I mean,
what are some interactions
everybody.
that you're
I love
intrigued
working
by?
with. I mean, I I love working with anybody new. I mean, I've been really fortunate in my career to work with so many great people, particularly in the MCU and now the DCU, and like so many great actors, and just working with all of the people in Creature Commandos was amazing. But I'd like to see them, yeah, I'd like to see them do a little more. I'd like to do a little more with the kind of Superman group, because I got to meet all those people, but I didn't really work with them yet. So, and the Justice Gang, obviously, but I haven't worked with David or Rachel or a lot of those people, or Nick, and so that will be fun going forward if I get a chance to do that. But anybody, I mean, I'm always a fan of people's work, and as an actor, I'm such a I just have so much love for my job and for the craft, and I have so much respect for the way people approach their roles, and like just working with everybody. Bring it on! I'm into it.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, first question. You're up.
Hi, I'm John. First off, you know how when you see someone for the first time, then we see another stuff, that first character, the other character,
Uh huh.
you're so Kirk.
That. Oh, that.
So then I was thinking about that really to your role. If you were a role that if you could have like that character more of a guide over time.
Of the people I played, I mean, look, I really like doing a lot of different things. And I try, like, one of the things I'm most proud of in my career is that I've worked up and down the spectrum. I worked, on the most, the Avengers movies are the most expensive movies ever made and some of the highest grossing films ever made. But I also did a low budget indie movies, and I have a horror film coming out later this year that is like super small, and I like to bounce around and do a little of everything. So I just like, I want good writing and good storytelling, and I like to do as much as I can. And I try not to ever focus on what I don't have in my career. So that's why I don't like covet things, I don't have any holy grail of an actor of a character that I want to play. I'd rather just see what comes my way, see what my choices are, and go from there. So I love all the characters I play. If I don't love playing them, it's not going to be. It won't be fun for me, and it's probably not working. I'm so grateful to have played Kirk. I love playing him. I would do it again if the situation was right. But for the most part, I feel like I've done a lot with that character, and I've seen him go a lot of different places. I like the new ones are like, I'm way more interested in seeing where Maxwell Lord goes than anything, because he's new.
Right.
And he's what I'm working on right now. And when I walk around the world, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So I don't know.
Cool.
I take it all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, I'm also John. First of all, thank you for coming today.
Oh, yeah.
I know it means a lot to a lot of people to have you here. My question is that you are an incredibly versatile actor between motion capture, voice acting, live performance. Of those three kind of acting methods, which have you found the most challenging? Which have you found the most rewarding?
I mean, I was, I've been acting my whole life, so having my face seen is something that I was associated with being an actor, So when I'm playing a role that's closer to myself, it feels better in some ways, even if it's just the way that I look. And so being on camera is pretty much, I will usually choose over doing mocap or doing voice acting or something. This isn't a style act. challenging part of my career has been when I have to play two characters at once, and doing like there would be days on the Guardians movies when I would be playing Kraglin and Rocket in the same scene, and that was tricky in a way that nothing else really has been. So that's really tough because I need to look at the scene from. I essentially have to prepare for the scene twice because there's no overlap. I have to prepare for it from Kraglin's point of view and from Rocket's point of view, and they don't overlap. And so, so that's really tough. There are things with voice acting that can be tricky, but I don't know if one is necessarily harder than the other. It's always about telling the truth with the character that you're playing. But no, I don't relish playing two characters at the same time very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, my name's Sean. Honestly, he kind of asked my question, and you kind of answered it. It was kind of about the motion capture. What is it like to be in a scene as a character, but not technically be in a scene, like when you are doing the motion capture for Rocket, and you just kind of have to be there in that spot?
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
question.
well, to me, the key is that I don't really look at it like that. So, like when I'm playing Rocket on set, I'm just playing Rocket. I don't think about like, oh, well, this isn't really me. Like that's not helpful for the scene. So I'm there for the other actors, so that when they're acting with, they're not looking at a blank space or a tennis ball on a stick. They're looking at a pair of actual eyes. That's why I crouch down when I play the role, so that I can do it with them. I'm also there for this special effects team, so the VFX team can watch what I'm doing and use it as a jumping off point for how to animate the character, particularly where he's looking, what his hands are doing, and things like that. Eventually, a lot of my performance will be extracted, essentially. Like, obviously, Bradley Cooper comes in later and does the vocals and really brings the character together and sort of makes it a complete piece. But I'm not thinking about that when I'm on set. I'm just doing my job in the same way that I do when I'm doing anything.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jadewin. I'm a big fan of your work. My question for you is, do you think we'll see any more of Kraglin in the MCU later?
I really don't know the answer to that. I never say never. My phone is on if they want to call, but I don't know. I think that with my brother James moving to DC and some of the MCU being sort of I think they're reimagining sort of what the next step is. They're sort of reconfiguring where it's going, and I don't know if they're going to make another Guardians movie or not. I have no idea. I know that we have not been contacted about being in the newer Avengers stuff that's coming up, and part of that is I think a lot of the actors are done. So a lot of the original Guardians cast have pretty publicly talked about how they're not going back to do more Guardians movies, and so I don't necessarily anticipate that I'll be doing more movies, but who knows?
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I had a question about Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
One of my favorite of all times. With the 25th anniversary coming up and like all this renewed interest and a whole new generation.
It happened. We had our 25th anniversary.
Yeah, right.
In September.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
that's
Go on.
And all this renewed interest from brand new fans. I just wondered what you thought of that and how you thought about coming back into the role of Kirk in A Year in the Life. And was it like a warm hug or was it like,
Yeah, it was great. I loved, I've described the character as like, you've got that your favorite softest T-shirt in your drawer that's so comfortable to put on, and that's how I felt playing Kirk. It's like, oh, this is comfortable. It's right there. I love doing it. That was a lot of fun. But even that was 9 years ago now, when we did the reboots. So I just can't. It blows my mind how much interest there's been in Gilmore Girls over the years, and how it kind of recycles every couple of years, and it's really fun. And I'm very grateful to all the fans. I'm grateful for the character and for everyone. I wish I'd be lying if I didn't say there's a part of me that wishes we had been more fairly compensated for that from the amount of success that it had streaming over the last decade or more. But that's kind of the way it goes, and there's other benefits to having done it that I received. So it's not like it's all some tragedy. It's been great, and I love the show. I'm glad that people still are finding it and still watching it. And if it kind of all comes down to Amy Sherman Palladino, the creator of the show. If she ever wants to do anything with it in the future, if she says yes, I'm pretty much an automatic yes. And then beyond that, she would have to at least give it her blessing if she wasn't a part of it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Hector. I want to ask you a question. Do you like Marvel or DC?
Oh man.
Hector, do you
That's
like Marvel or
rough.
DC?
I kind of like both.
You and I are agreed then. I get that question a lot, and I'm like, I get the luxury of getting to like both of them. If fans want to disagree, they can, but to me, everyone wins when the movies are good. When all the movies are good, we all win. So they don't have to be. They do not have to be in conflict with each other. Both of their checks clear. So, I don't have any problem with either one of them.
Because in the Marvel, I like you, the character you play in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, 3, and then the Holiday Special, and then Avengers Infinite Endgame. I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I don't know if you might appear at Avengers Endgame or Secret Wars.
I don't think so. It's not looking good, but
Yeah, I don't know.
anyway,
Sure.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Hector.
Thank you.
Hey, my name's Leon. My question, what is your thought on all those angry Snyder fans that are very mad at your brother for kind of just having a pretty different universe?
I'm going to tell you the honest truth, Leon. I don't think about them at all, ever.
Good answer. Good answer.
They occupy no real estate in my brain. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just want to tell you, they are coming for your brother.
Oh, whoa. Thank you for your question.
That seems
Yes,
aggressive for a comic
sir.
book movie.
Right? Supervillain origin.
Okay. Hello, my name is Zion, and I'm a film student. And my question is, what advice will you give a filmmaker who wants to work with your brother at DC?
Oh, you'd have to ask him that question. I'm not his proxy. The advice that I would give any filmmaker is finish what you start. Care about the story, care about the craft, care about making it good. There are no shortcuts. Nobody goes right to working with their heroes right out of the gate or right out of school. You got to kind of show what you got and really if you make good stuff, if your work is good, you will work. That is true. It's something that I found from my first day in Hollywood that it takes some people longer than it takes others, but people who keep making stuff and don't quit, and the quality of their work is good, they make it eventually. They may not make it in the way that they think they're supposed to make it or the way that they set out trying to make it, but they will get there. They will forge some sort of path in their career.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And being nice too, right? Being nice too.
Always.
Yep.
That is
It's true.
Yes.
Hello. I had to write it down. Okay, so I didn't discover Gilmore Girls until 8 years ago, and since then I've watched it at least yearly, including the revival. So my thoughts are, I'm very ADHD and also proudly on the autism spectrum. Woo. Knowing that it's easy to see the entire band of Stars Hollow is riddled with neurodivergence in one way or another. Did you realize that Kirk was the most obviously autistic character in Stars Hollow when you were playing him? And did it feel good to represent that? Because it feels really comforting to watch it, realizing that myself, and I want to thank you for your portrayal regardless.
Thank you. I realize it now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it when I was playing it, and I think, first of all, I had less information about that in general 25 years ago. But yeah, I knew that Kirk had his own way of thinking that wasn't like everyone else all the time, and so I tried to play that to my best of my ability. I'm like, you look at the world through the character's eyes. That's the real joy of my career, is that it brings me closer. Being an actor makes me a better person. I mean that sincerely, because it's my job to look at the world through, the way other people do, and to understand them and leave myself out of it, leave my ego out of it, and to understand the world through their eyes. And so, Kirk had his own thing going on, and I celebrate that. And when people point that out to me now, I'm super proud of it. So,
well, you did a really good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I want to say, Sean, thank you for being here. Guardians of the Galaxy is actually the first superhero movie I ever watched, so fan of it. I wanted to ask specifically about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, because I really enjoyed that. I just like specifically what it was like to film that, because it was really fun overall, and
Yeah, it was really fun. It was, we wedged that into shooting the third movie. So we had been, we shot that third movie from like around September, late September, and then went through, like April of the following year. But in January, when we came back from our holiday break, we shot the holiday special. And it was a nice respite. It was a nice, after a lot of because there's a lot of emotional stuff in the third movie, and there's a lot of sadness that goes on. And so to come back and do the holiday special, which was so just joyful and fun and everything, it was great. I got to do my scene with Kevin Bacon, which was awesome, and it was just it was a total blast. I'd love to do more of those. We should do a Gilmore Girls holiday special, right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Hey.
So I started watching Gilmore Girls because I happened to walk in my wife and daughter, and there you are. So all the scenes with Kirk are the only reason that I watched. And I feel like when they started going a little farther and fewer between, I stopped watching. But anyway, so asking for a friend, if you weren't acting, which of Kirk's jobs would you be doing?
There's an episode where Kirk is announcing the hockey game.
Oh, you had me at hockey.
That was a lot of fun. First of all, I got to sit down all day at work, which was great. And
I sit when I pee.
And just try to be funny, and I'm actually a huge sports fan in real life, so the idea of like being a sports announcer comes to mind as the first thing. Because I'm not going to be like no offense, but I don't think I would have the skills to be a postal worker or a flower delivery guy or a swan delivery guy or any of those things. Probably couldn't work in a cosmetics store, or, I certainly don't want to be wearing a hot dog suit or anything like that. So, I'm going to go with sports announcer.
Cool. Love it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean, thanks for making the trip here. So you, along with Laura Prepon, your old co-star from a show called October Road.
That's right.
Great show. I don't know if anyone remembers it on ABC. I was kind of wondering how you got involved in that project. It was supposed to take place in another New England town, but the fictional Knightsbridge, Mass. I think it might have been Worcester, covering for Worcester. But I was wondering kind of about how you got involved with it. If you've had, people approach you about that. You played Rooster. It's kind of it's a quasi, I guess it's been under the radar for a little while.
It's been a long time.
And
Yeah.
will we see another season of James Gunn PG porn?
Oh God, no, we're not. I think that they're trying to. I don't know that Warner Brothers wants James going and working on that. Yeah, October Road was a blast. And I if it stayed on the air, I think I would have stayed with the show a lot longer. Scott Rosenberg is one of the creators of that show. Had created a show called Going to California, which we did a pilot for on the CW and didn't get picked up, and then Showtime did pick it up, and it lasted 20 episodes on Showtime, and I don't know that anyone saw it, but the October Road is sort of the spiritual child of that show, and he got some of those actors from that show to come back, and he brought me back to play Rooster. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time working on that show, but alas, things don't last.
Do people approach you about that one as much as Gilmore?
Oh
or?
my!
Maybe not.
Not quite.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tracy. I guess on that note, I am asking you about Gilmore Girls. First, are you familiar with the upcoming documentary, Drink Coffee, Talk Fast? And then second, when Gilmore Girls was started, did the cast and everyone expect it to be what it is? And especially then, season after season after season, you go in WB, CW, all of that. Did you expect it to be this big?
No, and it wasn't that big even when it ended. It wasn't as big as it is now. That was the crazy thing. I'm not sure about that. I've been approached about a few documentaries. I'm not sure about that one in particular. But the show itself was like, it was a modest hit on the CW. It did well enough to keep coming back. The numbers were decent. And it was just sort of a little. It had its audience. It was like Seventh Heaven and Gilmore Girls were the two shows that did really well. Their ratings were actually better than ours were when it was on. And then when the show ended, it just kind of seemed like it went away. And from my perspective, it was never like a hot show from a Hollywood perspective. There's some shows like I remember at the time, like a show like Entourage doing so well, and they were all the toast of the town. And I'm like, just as many people watch the show I'm on, but nobody cares. Like casting directors don't care, in Hollywood, because entertainment people didn't watch it then, and so it just kind of went away. And it was like, oh, what a fun show it was. It was great. And then I think the first inkling was a year or two later, we started hearing that the DVD sales were doing really, really well. That the box sets were like selling at Walmart and places like that, and whatever.
I have them all.
Yeah, wherever you'd buy box sets of DVDs, and they were selling way better than shows that had done better when they were on the air. And it was like, that's pretty weird. And then it went to Netflix, and it just exploded. And it was one of the biggest shows Netflix had out of the gate, and it's still one of the biggest shows Netflix has. It's still, so it's weird. People don't, like this, there were shows in syndication, I guess, that sort of mimic this a little bit, but it's very strange because now there's so much streaming. It gets so much. It does so well with its streaming numbers that it's like being on a hit show right now for us, because it's like those are the kind of numbers it does. It's as many people stream it as shows that are brand new and still getting made, which is crazy. So like, yeah, it came back to Netflix, and then I think Jimmy Fallon had a lot to do with really bringing it back. He started talking about it like he started watching it for the first time and then talking about it every night on his show for a year before leading up to the reboot getting made. And I think that really assisted with the sort of fervor around the show coming back. So it's been a wild ride.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pam. I have a question about your relationship with your brother.
Yes.
So you're a professional, he's a professional, but has there been a time when you're on set and the brother rivalry comes in and you're like, like a rocket crouched down and like keeps making you do it over and over and you go, wait, he's messing with me.
Fortunately, I don't think he would do that. Not when it's something like something at stake, like an actor. He's professional to a fault. I think we both are. What's funny is, and there's 6 of us in my family. He's the oldest and I'm the youngest, so we already have the dynamic of the older brother, little brother on set, and I don't know why we're very close in age. And all of us in my family, and I don't really know why this is, but we are not really competitive with each other at all, and we root for one another. We're pretty close, very close, good friends to this day, all of us, and it just never. We don't pick on each other the way that a lot of other siblings do. So I'm happy to say we'll joke around, but we keep it pretty professional, and no, he wouldn't mess with me, I don't think.
I'm a big sister, I would have.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. No pressure. You got the last question.
Oh, my bad. Hi, my name's Will. How do you feel about like GI becoming more of like a public figure after the ending of Creature Commandos?
I'm all for it.
Yeah, like kind of like an example, when Charlie Kirk died and like people were saying like, oh boy, Nazis, like putting stuff like that in comment sections and stuff like that. How did you like feel that he's kind of like expanded beyond the show a little?
I'm not going to touch that one, but
Aw, man.
I do think that the idea that I play a character who represents somebody who is very much opposed to authoritarianism in all its forms is something that I'm proud of, because I am personally it's something that's important to me. So I love playing GI Robot. I think he's and if people use him as a totem or a symbol of